What's up, YouTube family? I'm back with another video, wrapping up this workout tonight. Saturday night training sessions. Some of the best training sessions, man, because hey, you have to take care of the temple, people. You gotta take care of the temple. I'm not saying you have to be narcissistic, but you have to be responsible. Get that exercise in at least 4 to 5 times a week. Some cardio, weightlifting. I don't care what you do as long as you're active, okay? All right, so in today's video, I want to talk about raising kids in 2019, all right? Or just raising kids in general in modern times versus back in the days, okay? So I feel I have a right to speak on this. I feel I'm qualified because I do have 3 children, ages 12, 5, and 3. And let me tell you something, it's hard. It is hard being a parent. Now, I'm not a single father, I'm not a single parent, I am married, so, you know, it's a battle for me both, and, you know, me and my wife raising our kids. I can't imagine how tough it is for single parents out there. I feel for you, and really need to pray for you all too, because it's hard and very, very challenging raising 3 kids, all right? I'm sure some of you think raising 1 is difficult. I'm not going to belittle anybody. Bringing a child, bringing a life into this world, whether it's 1 or whether it's 10, is a task, okay? Because every child is different. Now, I want to talk, like I said, about raising kids these days. And I'm going to be talking more so towards my oldest son. And like I said, he's 12 years old. This is his first year of middle school. He's in the 6th grade. You know, he's reaching that age of adolescence and puberty. And, you know, he's really becoming, what's the word? He just wants to stay to himself, you know, almost introverted, nearly. And I know some of that he gets from really both me and his mother. His mom is a heavy introvert. Me, on the other hand, I was introverted as a child, but as I got older and, you know, I got exposed to more of the world, and, you know, I guess around my mid-20s, I kind of broke out of that. We're really my early 20s, I broke out of that, and I don't really consider myself to be introverted anymore. I still have some of those ways. Like, I'm not the type of person to just go out in public screaming and yelling and just try to be the life of the party. I'm pretty conservative at the most, but, you know, I'll talk when I need to talk, and I'll say what I need to say with passion. But he is at that age to where, you know, he really doesn't want to talk a lot. He doesn't want to be around, you know, mom and dad as much as he did when he was a kid. He doesn't want to play. It's pretty depressing, to be honest with you, for me, because, you know, this is my son, and I want to spend as much time with him as I possibly can. I want to joke with him as much as I can, wrestle with him. He hates that. He hates wrestling. He hates joking around. He's just very, like, serious and just into his interests. And I even try to be interested in the things in which he's interested in. You know, I ask about, you know, the things that he likes. What does he like about it? He doesn't really want to explain it. And I'm like, you know, I don't understand, like, what is a parent to do? Because, you know, there's, you know, society says, you know, you got to raise your kids. Parents are not spending enough time with their kids. You know, they work a lot. And yes, me and his mother we do work a lot, but we really try to get involved in all of our kids' lives and to be attentive and not just people who pay the bills and just keep a roof over their heads. You know, we really try to be there in their life. Okay, be involved with activities, be involved with school, and just be supportive, show love, do family activities. We try to take vacations as much as we can. You know, we just really do everything possible to make sure that when our kids are adults, they can look back and they can say, you know, I had a pretty darn good childhood. My mom and my dad did all that they possibly could to make us happy. You know, they got us what we wanted. They showed us love and affection. They never gave up on us. These are the things in which I want my kids to remember when they're grown men, you know. And I'm not going to ever stop doing my job, doing my due diligence as a parent, and showing them the love in which they deserve, you know. But I can't help but, you know, think about when I was a teenager, and I see a lot of the tendencies in my son. You know, I see the sneakiness, I see the just the awkwardness, the things in which he tries to do behind my back. You know, we've all been there, we've all done that, and I'm trying to have some mercy on him by saying, you know, hey, when you were young, because to be honest with you, when I was a kid, when I was his age, I was way worse than my son, like way worse than my son. You know, I was into stuff that, you know, 12-year-old boys shouldn't be into, you know, but that's a whole nother story. But, you know, I see, you know, just some of the tendencies, you know, an occasional lie, sneaking to do little bitty things like maybe going in the refrigerator, getting a soda or a snack when we tell them not to, just being sneaky, you know, things that, you know, you do when you're a kid. And I guess I'm just, you know, I'm having a hard time because, you know, I remember doing those things, and it's like, well, you did it, so you can't really get mad at him for doing it, so what are you going to do about it? And the only thing I can really do is, you know, discipline, of course, and try to have patience, and, you know, pray to God that he turns around and does what he needs to do. You know, I'm you know, hopefully it's a stage, and I feel like it is a stage. I think every kid goes through a stage. You know, as a parent, you want your child to be perfect, and that's just not going to happen. You know, it's just not going to happen. Not in today's society. Not ever, really. No child was ever perfect, and I guess I'm just having a hard time just accepting that he's going to do certain things that I'm not going to like, you know. But I guess it's just all about parenting. It's all about bringing them up. There are just different stages of parenting. There's nothing anybody can do to prepare you for whatever your child throws out at you, because, you know, your baby that you bring home, you believe is so innocent, which they are at that age, so innocent, you know, carefree, loving, and then they grow up to be toddlers. They run around, they start getting into stuff, you know. But yeah, they're just there, and hey, I mean, what are you going to do about it at the end of the day? But my thing is, I feel like I love them no matter what. I love them no matter what. Whew, you know, but hey, we were all young at once. And I try real hard to understand that. But, you know, you just don't want the world devouring your child. You know, I try to teach him tendencies, things he's going to need to know growing up. And I tell him, son, one of these days you're going to be a man. One of these days, you know, you may get put in a situation that you're going to have to use your head. Because, you know, your father, I'm going to always be there for him. I'm going to always be dad. I'm going to always be in his corner no matter what. I'm going to always support him. I'm going to always love him, care for him, and be there for him whenever he needs me. But there are going to be days in which I know that I won't be right there at that moment. And I'm just hoping and praying everything that I'm trying to teach him and installing him will keep him out of predicaments and out of situations when he's a man, you know. Because it's every parent's worst nightmare to hear, you know, something happen to their child because they've gotten themselves into trouble. And this is why, you know, my grandmother used to always say, and she still does to this day, you know, don't give up. You can't give up. You can't afford to give up. Never give up. Never give up. And she's right. You know, you can't afford to give up. These kids these days, a lot of them don't have, you know, fathers in the home. A lot of them are being raised by just their mothers, and I'm no offense, ladies, no offense. I definitely applaud you because you couldn't help it that the father didn't want to do his job. You couldn't help it. You couldn't help it that he didn't want to stick around. You couldn't help it that he didn't want to take his responsibility. It's not your fault. You do the best you can do with those kids. Okay, so I have love for you women who take care of your children. I do. Being a single parent is something that it's out of control these days. It's out of control. Being a single parent is definitely something that is way on the rise. Way on the rise. But it's there, and it's an occurrence. So you do the best you can do with your kids, but it's a lot of these boys that's not being raised by their father. They're going out in the streets, learning from the streets, doing whatever. You know, the streets can't teach you nothing. The streets will teach you a code in which it gets you locked up. The streets will teach you a code in which may get you killed. You know, we need to do better. You know, these boys need God in their life. They need to learn the gospel. They need to learn about salvation. They need to learn how to live for Christ. That's what they need. You know, I'm not going to sit up here and say I'm the perfect Christian, you know, but I try my best to walk upright and to uphold the commandments of Christ. And I try to teach my kids that. You know, we pray, we do all of that stuff. But, you know, there's some things in my home that we could do better, of course. But, again, every man is in charge of his home. You know, every man is in charge of what he does in his household. Every man needs to take that responsibility and raise his son or his daughter too, okay? Because I know some of you have, you know, daughters, and that's a very important thing too, because a lot of these young ladies out here, who didn't have a father, never had the intimate relationship or the love in which they were supposed to have from the first man that was in their life, which is a woman's father. You know, a father to a woman is like a knight in shining armor. You know, he's going to protect her. He's going to educate her and teach her everything she needs to know to avoid these men who like to take advantage of them, who like to tell them things that no one else has ever told them. Like, I feel like if a man concentrates on his daughter and tells her that you're beautiful, that you're loving, that you deserve the world, you know, you're the princess, this, that, and the third. You know, if a father constantly saturates his daughter with that love, there's not going to be a man alive that's going to be able to convince her, you know, or manipulate her with those, you know, with those words, because a lot of guys do that. You know, ladies are you know, emotional creatures. You say the right thing and that's it. That's all you need. Well, I'm not trying to say that as, you know, every woman's the same, but it's kind of the truth. You know, a lot of women, you know, they get manipulated by words. So if we can avoid that, ladies, if you can avoid that, you can save yourselves a lot of heartache. But a lot of that begins at home, you know, as we raise our sons and our daughters. But this video is going on long enough. You know, I just kind of wanted to just, you know, talk a little bit about raising kids and how difficult it is, you know, the outside influences that are out in this world, and the things in which, you know, we as parents are constantly fighting, because Satan he's going to war with us. He's trying to take our kids. Okay, he's going for the kids. He's going for the younger generation. He's going for them because he knows that there's a shortage of godly men in this world. There's a shortage of people preaching the word. There's a shortage of good mentors in this world. He knows that, and he's really, really pressing the envelope, trying to influence these younger kids and younger adults out here, you know, to be ungodly. And we need to fight back, and we need to protect our kids at all times. You know, our kids, they may not like it, they may not want us to do it, but they're going to thank us later in the future for doing that. So, yeah. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Comment down below your thoughts. If you're a parent, I want to hear what you have to say about this. You know, are you fighting, you know, to keep your child, you know, out of the wiles of the devil? You know, maybe you're a single parent out there and it's a little bit more difficult for you than most people, but I pray that, you know, that the Lord keeps you and that the Lord blesses you, and that he, you know, just gives you the full armor of God in these last days that we're living in, because he's, You know, Satan is really, really working overtime to take us out. He's trying to take the younger generation out, and if he's successful in taking the younger generation out, then we're going to see less and less ministers being raised up. We're going to see less and less pastors. We're going to see less and less evangelists being raised up if we don't protect our kids, if we don't protect our children. We're going to be in trouble. God bless you all, okay? Peace.